Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today for May 31st, 2022. The man they call Meathead, the lovely Linda Kay. Linda, I feel like it's been forever. It's been about a minute since we've talked.
Yeah, thank you so much to you and the gentleman Squire for holding it down during my absence. I really, really appreciate that. We are a true team.
That's right. Hey, and you know what? As a team, and I got to get my order in. Hopefully, they haven't shut it down yet. But who's the sponsor and what's the code?
Well, there was a code put out through the wonderful Collar and Elbow. Over the weekend, there was a special code to save 20% over Memorial Weekend. I do believe that has expired as of this morning.
Oh, so what's the
However,
code we should be using then?
yeah, if you weren't able to take advantage of that weekend special, you can always use the promo code of Linda K. That's LINDAKAY to always be able to save 10% off your order anytime, any day, 24/7, 365. And you can do that by going to collarandelbowbrand.com.
Linda, real quick before we get into the news here, AEW pay-per-view Double or Nothing is in the books. I'd like to hear your overall thoughts on everything that went down at the pay-per-view, and let's talk about the points real quick. The man they call Meathead, 630 of them. Linda K, 470, and Matthew, 80. New totals, 665 Meathead, 560 Linda K, 375 Matthew Thomas. I've taken over.
Yes. Well, you made some moves ahead of Double or Nothing. Very brilliant of you to get some more of those points. You had to drop certain talents to gain some, and it was definitely to your advantage. A lot of points for you last night. I got a good amount of points myself, if I must say, for Team Long
470,
Time.
that's right.
Yeah. So
470. Yeah, and nobody had Britt Baker, but I hedged my bets and put in both competitors. I already owned Adam Cole, baby. But I put Samoa Joe in there just in case they went away from Adam Cole. But yes, Adam Cole winning the men's side of the Owen Hart and Britt Baker winning the women's side. Nobody having Britt. You with a big time win, CM Punk, the new AEW World Champion.
yes, I was excited for that to happen, and just the pay per view as a whole, I definitely enjoyed it.
A whole
The
5.5 hours.
well, okay. I will say though, kicking off the show with MJF and Wardlow, great to see. I think that was expected by a lot. I think you and Matthew even mentioned that that should be how it starts, which it did, especially with all the controversy, the
Controversy.
news. Oh yeah, one of my favorite Prince songs. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Regarding MJF, so as expected, Wardlow got win on him. He is now back officially
He's all
all
elite.
elite.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, yeah, we'll see what transpires with the whole MJF thing, but I'm happy to see Wardlow finally getting the win. We got that payoff of him going over on him. Wardlow on Team Long Time as well. So
Nice.
great to see that. And some of the other matches, like seeing the Hardys, I also have Team Long Time another victory there, not just for being on my fantasy draft team, but just also obviously huge fans of theirs and them being in town recently. Definitely support the Hardys and great to see that win as well. Okay, I'll talk about a match a lot of people may not have liked, but I didn't mind so much the mixed tag or intergender. Was
Uh,
it mixed tag? Okay, here's the thing. I really wanted to see how Paige Van Zant was going to do it,
she
honestly.
looked great.
Yeah, I didn't think so bad. And maybe it's just because I mean, I'm obviously not a UFC fighter by any means, but maybe I just have a little more of a vested interest just from doing some training. Similar, again, I'm not saying I'm a fighter by any means, but just kind of, I'm interested in seeing that transformation, I guess, from her
Yeah.
initial training into the world of pro wrestling. And I thought she did great. The funny moments, I mean, what great uh, not just timing, but just the spotting of oh, wait, that sounded weird. The how she was
Yeah, I was gonna say
positioned.
she wasn't
Wait,
spotty. That's
that
just weird. Yeah.
yeah, I think position might not be the right word too, but how she was able to have Ty Conti fall right into the
That spot was amazing. You know
yeah.
what? Out of that whole match, which I did not like, be able to do the headbutt on the mommy daddy button of Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. So I mean that had some funny haha moments that I don't mind. It was a nice way to put a little break in the night in a but still entertaining way, I guess, is what I was getting at. But
And you've already listened to the Monday edition, yesterday's show, right? The PWR Today. All right.
Yeah.
So did you believe that was Triple H? Because the Triple H looked a little puffy.
Hey, I'm not sure, but I too also love the musical entrances, especially at the huge live events. So kudos to
You know
having that
me,
happen.
I'm a big, huge musical person when it comes to wrestling, and that really gets me invested. So Triple H, the King of Kings playing out Ruby Soho and Rancid. Just kidding, that was not Triple H. You mentioned MJF, and there's still more controversy going on with the MJF stuff. We have to talk about it because it's in the news. I don't know that I believe any of it that's happening. MJF canceling all his personal meet and greets on Saturday. It was said that he did not show up into the arena until moments before the buy-in literally had started. So that opening match was MJF literally walking into the building, getting powerbombed 10 times, and then leaving the building. And where was his breathing apparatus again, Linda?
It may have been over his eyes. I'm not really sure. I gotta watch that back again. Because never know. I mean, unless you're a true medic, sometimes it's hard to really tell where to place certain breathing apparatuses.
Adding to the little fuel to the fire, and we'll get to fire, when we do talk about Eddie Kingston and Danielson at some point again. Adding fuel to the fire is the fact that during the media scrum Sunday night after the pay-per-view, or Monday morning, depends on where you're, really doing the scrum from, Tony Khan refused to answer any MJF questions.
Goodness, I'm just thinking, as you guys clearly put it, are we being worked or is it a work? Man, I want to say it is a work. As we know, MJF has been teasing his contract.
He's been saying it on air for a long time.
Yeah, just hinting toward a possible WWE move there. I would say it's work. I mean, MJF has done so many things. I mean, granted, whether it's him or AEW, I will say MJF being a part of it, he's done this many times to talent, to the audience, to us watching at home. Many times you think you'd go one way or do one certain thing and you believe it, and it's not. He's just that good. Whether this is more pushed behind AEW themselves versus MJF, he is still a part of it. Does a great job at that. So I'm going to lean more toward this coming out with that. It's just been him playing along with us this whole time.
I gotcha. Let's get into a little bit more news here. The Rock's daughter is in the WWE system, and she has a name change now. Her name is now Ava Rain. Ava Rain, which is a cool wrestling name. All right, cool. But I mean, literally, she's getting destroyed on social media. It's not her fault, folks. This was probably the name that was assigned to her. It was probably picked out of a hat, to be completely honest. And they asked her, how do you feel about this? How about this one? And she probably was only able to choose from a couple of them. The one that I can't believe she hasn't used is Pebble.
Yeah, well,
for Little Rock.
I know. Yeah, well, if it's it's not up to her in the end, obviously. I mean, it's what was provided or chosen, given, however you put it. I will say I like that Samoa Johnson did come out and say her piece, saying that it doesn't matter. That was no pun intended. I don't know what her exact quote was, but basically along the lines of it.
That line came up last night on Raw too. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, it sure did. Yeah, but again, along the lines of it doesn't matter how many times she, would mention her family, her lineage. People would still talk about her, or any talent really. There's always going to be people trying to, shut you down or say their piece, behind their computer and behind their phones. But she's just so stood up strongly for that. And that, you come out as your own individual. You have your name.
I understand her wanting to be her own person, and I'm completely all for that. I understand that. But she also has the chance to be promoted and advertised as the first ever fourth generation superstar in WWE history.
That's great. Hey, what if she still just, it's Ava Rain, but later turns into the Pebble? Who knows? Rock didn't
No,
start off
that'll
as
probably
the
not
Rock.
gonna. Yeah, he started out as Rocky Maivia, as we learned in Young Rock. Um, by the way, in Young Rock, if you haven't seen it, I am gonna spoil this a little bit here for you. The grandmother, Rocky's grandma, not Ada, but her mom, when she says, "Listen, he wants to be Flex Banana. He could be Flex Banana all he wants." His name was Flex Havana, not Flex Banana. But hearing the grandmother saying it in Samoan in dialect, "Flex Banana," I damn near pissed myself. That's how funny that was.
Yeah.
Because he's got his dad telling him all the different approved rock names that he could use, and he goes, "No, Flex Havana," while he was working down in Memphis. So, boy's name is Flex Banana. Oh, but I digress here. Simone Alexandria Johnson has said, "I beg of you guys, please find a new joke when people keep asking, why can't she be called the Pebble?"
She can be Flintstones. Like, how about Pebbles or the artist that from the 80s, 90s, Pebbles? That song,
Yeah,
Girlfriend. You
yeah,
remember that?
I
Girlfriend.
do. I do remember that. I think, matter of fact, to bring it all back together, I think that was produced by Prince.
Oh, tremendous.
I mean, if I'm wrong, there could be a controversy. All right, let's go one more note coming out of the scrum, and this relates directly to CM Punk. Um, Someone asked a question about the talk that the AEW roster backstage feels like he's an outsider. Has Punk blended in to the locker room? And I want to read this quote here. Quote, "I've grown so wise in my old age that I'll do my best to be as diplomatic as I possibly can with this answer." Unquote. And this is Punk speaking. Quote, "If there are people backstage that don't like me, it's a minority. If anybody says that nobody wants me here, nobody likes me, I'd like to say that nobody's don't like me and nobody's don't want me here." So the reason we bring this up is there has always been talk that Punk was difficult to deal with in WWE. There's been talk that, he was brought in, they spent all this money, they brought back Punk into wrestling, and now Punk is the face of the company. You know what? Let's talk about the positives with CM Punk. They had their biggest ever house. It was their first $1 million house gate. It's the biggest crowd they've ever had in an indoor arena. And Punk is going to make him money, the company money, and the boys money, and the girls money, because that's really what the face of the company does. Linda, you're in the business now, right? I mean, I mean, you're in the business. I mean, really, at the end of the day, the face of the company, the champion, is to bring the people in. Hulk Hogan did this, and it helped everybody else's paychecks down the card, down the whatever, all the workers, whatever. So the person that you put that belt on, like Roman Reigns says he's the head of the table. He's the one that puts food on everybody else's table.
Right, John
CM Punk,
Cena.
right. CM Punk is now the champion in AEW, and his job is to get people to go to the shows, pop that rating, get the ticket sales up, and help everybody else get paid. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he is one who can do that for AEW. And right now, great time. He's been with them a good amount now, and it's not like they shot him right to the top as the champion. He's been facing and lots of different great top stars from AEW and helping elevate them and putting the title on him. You know what? I was listening to you and Matthew do your previews for the pay per view last week, and I too thought that perhaps Adam Page would hold on to that just because maybe he would still need it more for this current time here to just kind of keep his momentum and just keep him going as champ right now. But having Punk as champion, I like it. I mean, just talking about him right now and you mentioning, him as a champion, what his role is in bringing all that revenue, not just for himself but for the company, for all the workers and anybody involved, production, crew, etc. Made me think to his debut and just how much that meant to wrestling fans. I mean, pretty much all. I don't know anyone who watched wrestling that did not feel that moment or
Right.
feel his return or anticipate how huge that would be. Just think about that again. He's definitely a huge player in the world of pro wrestling. Having him as your top star, and after this absence, bringing him to AEW, not knowing just, I mean, was it a 7-year absence or
7 years, I believe.
lines,
Yeah.
how great he still looks, performs, speaks, carries himself as a leader in the company. So I like this move, whether or not he's getting along, with the boys in back. I feel that, him being older now, he's at my age, that he would be more of a positive influence, and, it's just someone more positive to be around, or if you want to accept his help, he'll give it to you. If you don't, you don't, kind of mentality. But I see it overall as a positive thing, and having him as the face of AEW right now, very beneficial to the company, and it's just momentum right now.
Yeah, and let me address what I said on the Friday morning show too. I thought that it would be detrimental to Adam Page if Punk were to win, because then he wouldn't, even though he beat Bryan Danielson, this was a WWE talent, and it really could have legitimized Adam Page as well. Punk is the right champion right now. However, we got to find something quickly for Adam Page. I mean, absolutely quickly. I love the fact that he should be able to go at Punk and first literally come at him and say, you know what, I want a rematch. And then somebody attacks him and says, look, I got to work over this person that attacked me. And then we go from there, and then he kind of moves on. But Adam Page needs to be put into a top level story quickly. Otherwise, we're going to forget about Adam Page. Let's talk about Raw from last night. We're going to do some hits from the show. The opening segment I thought was really solid. Man, did Becky look good. I mean, I saw my reflection in Becky. Well, that, because she was wearing a mirror jacket. But she looked really good. And I love the match between Asuka and Bianca. Becky came out strong at the end, which unfortunately bodes not well for her at the pay-per-view. You know how WWE is, the go-home. If they look strong on the go-home, that doesn't mean they're going to win that coming Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, Becky Lynch, always entertaining, and that's just great to see. I mean, both her and her husband, you're always anticipating their outfits, what they're going to do, what they're going to say. But great. No, she's not the current champion, but great champion as a whole. Do I see it happening again this Sunday? I think that Bianca will still come out as champion.
Probably
but
retain.
I would like something more with Becky and Asuka, which I think that's where they're going to go. I mean, they've rewinded. What had happened at Money in the Bank when Asuka won, and then what happened with Becky at Raw and her with the title. I almost said belt. And
well, you've been learning quickly on that one, huh?
I think there's something more with them. We can get it further program with the two of them, and that's something. I mean, so far between the two of them, highly entertaining. I think we can do something more between Becky and Asuka.
Yeah, and they definitely can't beat belts anymore. They made a damn Velcro now, so. The Mysterios and Ezekiel took on Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens. Remember, there's going to be a match this Sunday between Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. I wonder if his brother Elias will be coming to the pay-per-view to maybe watch him in his pay-per-view debut.
He'll come out and play him out. So we're going to get another guitar.
Nice. Oh, he's going to walk with Ezekiel. All right. I understand. And Cody Rhodes didn't have a Cody clock this time. The clock went towards the team of the Usos versus, I almost said Randy Orton, Matt Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura. Basically, they're down tag team partners because the Usos hurt them. So now they're going to tag together, and they're going to win a contenders match and hopefully get a tag team title match against the Usos. I liked what Cody and Seth Rollins did. Did you hear the reference to the smashing a throne?
Do tell.
Seth Rollins says, you know what? You can't just go smashing thrones and then come back here and try to take the throne that you said you smashed. Remember, in AEW, Cody Rhodes had an entrance where he smashed Triple H's throne.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. And now Cody is back. So, you know what? Nice little pull aparts. Do you look when you watch these pull aparts and when the agents have to come out, or producers, or officials, whatever they call them on air? Do you look at the officials to see who, like our friends, Shane Helms was one of the officials. Do you look
Absolutely.
to see who else is officials? I saw Michael McGillicuddy as an official last night.
Yes, we had 2/3 of Legacy in the segment.
Right, exactly.
Well,
yeah. It's kind of fun to watch. Obviously we got the Hurricane pulling him back. Stand back. there's a hurricane coming through during the official segment. But your thoughts on Cody and Seth really putting a little heat into the match coming up this Sunday in Hell in a Cell?
Oh my God, I loved it. It kept going on, and it wasn't overboard, like too much. It was just what we needed. I mean, we know that we're going to get a great match between the two of them. We've already gotten top-notch matches. Now with this trilogy, we could have still, we know we would have gotten one, but this definitely had that go home feeling.
Yeah.
And just the end with Seth, coming through the stands and that ridiculous outfit and sunglasses, loved it. And then being in his home state, we heard some welcome home Seth chants. And but then we still
home
had
state and home
Cody
city
chants.
too. They were in Des Moines.
But also some Cody chants to counteract that. I really did not expect him to go through the crowd as much as they did, but that was tremendous. And then the constant pull apart. So just when you thought the officials were able to part the two of them, nope, here it goes again. Here we go again. I absolutely loved it.
Does he spend enough money on shirts that he doesn't care, or are they cheap shirts that he doesn't care? But when you rip open a button-down shirt.
Yes. I saw that. Noticed that too. Yeah. That was great. Definitely looking forward to this match. Yeah, I'm really happy with Cody in this return. Again, I was a little hesitant at the start, as I told you numerous times. I didn't want him to just get booed right off the bat.
No, he's not getting booed.
Cody.
Yeah. They put everything behind him, and he's getting cheered. Hey, let's jump ahead to Miz TV, and Miz is obviously setting up Miz and Mrs. next week on the USA Network with a double episode premiere. But here comes the Street Profits, and they took over Miz TV, and I thought it was pretty funny. What I noticed more than anything else? So Dawkins had a WWE microphone. Montez Ford had a Miz TV microphone. I was like, wait, does he have Miz's microphone? And then later on, you see Miz grab his own microphone. So the mic flag was down for Montez Ford, but it was up for Dawkins. Weird.
Maybe because the M as well, Montez.
Man, you know what? That I didn't see coming. All right, we'll go with that. But here's what I absolutely enjoyed. Mike, would you tell us what you think? What do you think about everything going on in that match? Well, I think it doesn't matter what you think. Dude, how long have you been here? You fell for that? Wow. That shouldn't have been awesome. It was.
You mean awesome?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Even Mike, or I'm not calling him Mike, as if we're friends too. Well, they said Mike as well, but Mrs. facial expressions, tremendous. And of course, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes up.
Dude, he high-fived it.
What, you got a question?
Yeah, that got me. And he put his hand up and he, yeah, that got me. That got me right away. It's those little things that we come back to wrestling, and the reason we watch wrestling, it's small little things like that. However, during Miz TV, the 24/7 title shenanigans came through, and Miz starts yelling. And we've been saying for how many months, how are they going to get it off of women if women can't go after men can't go after the women? Well, Tamina pins Dana Brooke, new champion, kisses Akira Tozawa. He pins her in a roll-up. The belt is back on a male.
Yeah, the way that all panned out was hilarious.
It was not bad.
Yeah, and just the whole thing, because from what we know, Tamina was also wanting to get a divorce from Tozawa or whatever. Yeah, they were both trying to get a divorce, right? Yeah. No, but they were both trying to get a divorce from Tozawa and from Reggie, I believe.
Right. Well, Dana Brooke got the divorce, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I was like, oh, Tamina still likes Tozawa. Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's the end of that whole feud between the two of them. But yeah, that was very clever, and you had the Street Profits right there just watching in all its glory.
And they kept getting in moves and then sat back down. That was kind of funny. The Profits went over well. I enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Mustafa Ali versus Ciampa. Winner by DQ, obviously Mustafa Ali. And it's because Theory did some amazing heel work. He goes, you know what? That match you did win. How about we have that match right now? And then he goes ahead and wins the match. Here comes Scrap Daddy and says Mr. McMahon enjoys what you did psychologically, but he also wants to see a fair fight. I like that storytelling. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. And how tremendous would it be if Ali gets that title in his hometown? Is he the same?
He is a Chicago kid. So, championship contenders match. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos, took on Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura. Ah! Well, the winner, due to a DQ, Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura, meaning that they get a title match.
Good. Yeah, I mean, both Riddle and Nakamura both have a reason to be upset with Usos. There's some storytelling right there. However, yes, it is still putting two individuals together that were not a tag team to now be a tag team and getting a quick title shot. But there's something there, though. You know, Usos.
I'm okay with the story today.
Yeah, and I mean, Riddle and Nakamura, I enjoy both them.
They still announced Riddle as a member of RK Bro, so they haven't gotten rid of that tag team.
Yeah, and they did mention more stuff that's being looked at for Randy, so it's not like he's not being mentioned. Yeah, we'll see how long that goes, and Linda, and when Boogs comes back too.
Yep, Linda, my bone to pick of the night is the same one that's on damn near every night. From the time Liv Morgan started walking out till the time the match started, take a guess how much time?
I'm trying to think of.
I marked the tape. It was 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Multiple commercial breaks, multiple backstage segments. 20 minutes from Liv Morgan coming out. And that doesn't count in the Judgment Day promo before Liv. That counts just Liv appearing. So they literally, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. But that last hour, is it like nobody's watching? Because then we get a match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, which is setting up a mixed 6-person tag coming up this Sunday at the pay-per-view. And then it closes off with more highlights of Cody and Seth. And the main event segment is a contract signing for a match that probably should be on the pre-show. Lashley is taken on in a 2-on-1 match, Omos and MVP. That last hour didn't exist. They do a 3-hour show and they have 2 hours of content.
I mean, the recaps that's always in there. I mean, maybe you haven't seen what's been happening. I don't know. I will say, bringing the talents out with a lot in between. The last Raw this was, I believe it was before Mania, but I remember it was where Edge was brought out and he was still a baby. He came out and there were a lot of segments in between where and for the live crowd, they utilized him for the segments during the break. So for example, they had a thing where you had to show us your best Undertaker face, and then they put it on Edge, and he standing in the ring, and he did the Undertaker face. Pretty funny there. So perhaps they might be utilized for some.
That's the kind of stuff that we can do in a 5.5-hour pay-per-view. How did AEW just give us a 5.5-hour pay-per-view and had more ready to go that we would have watched, and WWE can't put together a 3-hour Raw and only has 2 hours of content? What the hell? I know you want to.
Maybe they need more matches for the pay-per-views or more.
I know you want to find something positive. I know you really do, and I'm okay with that. I understand it. But for the love of all that's holy.
Well, the crowd left happy. Possibly they got tables.
There you go.
Tables. Okay. We want tables.
Okay. So again, it's going to be a 2-on-1 match this Sunday on the pay-per-view. Bobby Lashley has to take on Omos and MVP at the same time. So Bobby Lashley is probably going to go through both of them.
I would believe so. I think this should be the end of that feud. Let's move on.
Well, they could always do an eye for an eye match.
Oh.
All right. That is it. Linda, glad to have you back on the airwaves again. We are going to have you and Matthew tomorrow, right?
Yes, we will talk all things NXT.
It's a
It
go
is a
home
go
NXT.
home.
Yeah.
In your house, baby, this weekend.
Again, the
Speaking,
PWR. Go ahead.
oh, to say speaking of this weekend, I do want to mention for those in the central Wisconsin area, we do have a GLCW show taking place Saturday
Nice.
night as well. That would be in Merrill, Wisconsin, the Lincoln County Fairgrounds.
That's
That is
Merrillmania, right?
it was Merrill Mania last time. This is a
Oh.
show up that's just coming back. The Lincoln County Fair room there is the home arena, if you will, of GSW in Merrill. At this time, we are out bringing Road Dog.
Oh, you didn't
Oh,
know?
you didn't know. Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
So
Okay.
that's the Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Tickets at blizzardbrawl.com. I will be there as your MC. Good times as always.
As always. I was going to say the PWR draft, just a heads up. Again, 665, 560, and 375, Meathead, Linda, and Matthew. But free agent pickups are happening. Remember, we got it in your house this Saturday and Hell in a Cell this Sunday. Matter of fact, with Hell in a Cell in Chicago on Sunday, I wonder where Raw's going to be that following Monday. Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh,
Linda,
yeah.
Linda, I know that we try to get shows in the local area, so we'll see what we can do. We'll have the breakdown for you as always. So for Linda K, the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow. So long, everyone.